It's the new year and America is already in shambles. Terror attack here, terror attack there. Let's get into it.
And we begin with the urgent search for answers after the horrific and deadly terror attack in New Orleans. The FBI now believes the suspect, Shamsuddin Jabbar, acted alone and that he was, quote, 100% inspired by ISIS.
The perpetrator of the attack was, and I may butcher his name, but his name was Shamsuddin Jabbar. He was 42. He was an American-born citizen and an Army veteran. Once he had plowed through the crowd, he got out the car and started shooting. Police was able to return fire and neutralize him. They found an ISIS flag, guns, and explosives in his Ford pickup truck, and he was killed on the scene. Apparently, he had a lot of familial problems. He had went through 3 divorces, 2 of which there were child support cases. He was sued in one of his divorces, and they are saying that this is all of the reasons as to why he was able to be, I guess, radicalized by ISIS. Every single person that knew this man, they are completely shocked by this.
Open up TikTok because that's how we find out about everything now. And I seen Sham's video, Sham's face, and this is before I knew everything what had happened. I'm like, oh, okay, Sham, apparently he's doing really good in his real estate business, and I didn't think nothing of it. 2 videos more in, I seen his mugshot with the incident, the New Orleans incident that happened. So I put 2 and 2 together, and I was absolutely floored. I buckled up and I couldn't talk for 20, 30 seconds. I was just, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. He was very intelligent. He was well spoken for. He dressed well, very professional, very smart, and is just a regular soldier. He helped myself a lot in A school because I was struggling a little bit. And whoever's been to the Fort Gordon A school or AIT, it's very intense. It's 28 weeks of SATCOM, CCNA, subnet, and IP addresses. And he was a whiz at it. So he really helped me along with it. And to find out, yesterday that he was behind all this I was floored. Like I said, I was speechless for at least a minute. It's very unfortunate that he took that path. But, I can only speak for the 2011 version of Sham, which was, he's a normal individual, no red flags, great soldier, phenomenal friend.
So the FBI believe this was an act of terrorism, and they believe that he acted alone, though there was a fear that this attack may have been connected to the Cybertruck that blew up in Las Vegas in front of the Trump Hotel, but they have not been able to find any links, even though they served, if I'm not mistaken, they served in the same unit or at the same time near each other, and they obviously were both in the military, and it happened within 24 hours, so it wasn't crazy to think that those things could have been linked. Now, the major part of this video that really bothers me to no end is how quickly the right wing will find a way to demonize, scrutinize, make every single thing about race when we really should be focusing more so on what is actually at hand. So let's get into some good old right wing responses. Let's go to... Of course, we got a tweet or a Truth Social, a truth, I guess that's what we'll call it, from our lovely President-elect Donald Trump. Our country is a disaster, a laughingstock all over the world. This is what happens when you have open borders with weak, ineffective, and virtually non-existent leadership. The DOJ, FBI, and Democrat state and local prosecutors have not done their job. They are incompetent and corrupt, having spent all of their waking hours unlawfully attacking their political opponent, me, rather than focus on protecting Americans from the outside and inside violent scum that has infiltrated all aspects of our government and our nations itself. Democrats should be ashamed of themselves for allowing things to happen to our country. The CIA must get involved now before it's too late. The USA is breaking down. A violent erosion of safety, national security, and democracy is taking place all across our nation. Only strength and powerful leadership will stop it. See you on January 20. Make America great again. I don't know who needs to tell him, but old boy was born and raised here. He was an American-born citizen in the military. I don't know if this whole immigration talking point is going to work well for you when that's not the case here. Somehow he was radicalized, an American-born citizen was radicalized here. It never goes without saying how quickly the right will find a way to make every single thing about otherizing others instead of actually focusing on the issue. So, of course, DEI is the reason why the FBI and local law enforcement weren't able to stop this terror attack from happening. I'm really getting to the point where, I don't know, I guess because I'm getting older, I'm starting to recognize how just uninventive these people are, how less than smart they are. It never ceases to amaze me the ways in which the right wing will always make something about race. They talk about the left as being race baiters and talking about racism, but the things that the progressives and the left speak about when it comes to race are things that are actually happening and not fear mongering. It's also really interesting to me that, and I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or because I'm becoming more media literate, but we just got off of a incident where the right and the left was recognizing that, maybe race may not be the thing that's holding us back. Maybe it's class. And I feel like with the right immediately going to DEI when it comes to this terror attack in New Orleans, it is to throw red meat to their base to say, hey, don't worry about what happened with that Luigi Mangione. It's not about race. It's not about class. It's actually about race. Look over here. Look over here. Don't look over there. And I just want to be very clear and say it is very much so still about class. This situation, it's not related to class, but I'm speaking more so about the framing around why this happened. It is to completely throw your viewpoint and your mindset off and focus on the red meat, which is race for the right wing. I think we have to be very careful with our response and our overall feelings when it comes to events like this. Another point, we can't allow America to become more of a surveillance state. If you think about what happened with the Luigi Mangione, the amount of video footage that they had of tracking him, don't get me wrong, he should have been caught. If he did what he did, he should have been caught. But we should all be alarmed by how easy it was to track all of his movements. And I fear that just like when it came to the Patriot Act from 9/11, us as Americans, we have a history of giving up our freedoms and our rights in the name of defending us from terrorism. Meanwhile, we have there's a greater chance of us being a victim of gun violence from our next door neighbor or our guy down the street, but there's no change in gun laws when it comes to that. Where's the change in that? It's crazy how that works. All right, guys. That was just my quick little thoughts on that. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video. Peace.